It's a Caribbean love.
Caribbean love, girl. Hey, Caribbean.
Caribbean love.
Caribbean love, girl. Hey,
It's a
Caribbean.
Caribbean love.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave me a comment, and turn on that bell. Today I am going to show you one of my favorite Haitian recipe, sauce pois noir, aka black bean sauce. If you want to learn how to make it, stay tuned. To start out, I am using 4 cups of beans, black beans. You can use any type of beans that you prefer. I am using coconut milk. I'm using butter, oil, sea salt, leeks, celery. I am using parsley and thymes with cooking wine, bell pepper, garlic, Maggi cube, and you need a blender, a bowl, a strainer, and you need your pot. To start out, I am going to wash my beans 3 times. You don't have to. Once I am done, I added my leeks, garlic, cloves, and I'm also going to fill it up with water. You want to make sure you pass the beans. You don't want to add too little water, so you don't have to add water every 5 minutes because it is require a lot of cooking. Once I am done with adding my water, I am going to transfer it into my stove and let it cook for 35 minutes. I also added a tablespoon of oil. This is how it looks like after 35 minutes. I added 4 ounces of water and I let it boil for another 15 minutes. As you can see, I am checking my beans. You want to make sure the beans is cooked before adding your coconut milk. Once you add your coconut milk, I am going to let it boil for another 20 minutes. You don't want to add the coconut milk too late because you don't want it to have that raw coconut taste. This is after 20 minutes. It is well cooked. So I am going to let it cool down before I can transfer my beans and my bean sauce. After it's cooled down, I separate my beans and my bean sauce into a different containers. I am going to let it cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes before I start to blend. It's been about 15 minutes. What I'm going to do, I am going to add my cooked beans into my blender, and I am going to add my bean sauce as well into my blender, and I will start to blend both mixture together. There we go. You want to blend until it gets to a puree. Once that is done, you're going to add a little bit of beans left over into your pot. And then once you are done, you're going to strain that bean sauce that you just blend earlier. After you strain the first batch, you're going to repeat the same process until you have no more beans and bean sauce. Usually you can repeat the process 3 or 4 times. It all depends how much beans that you are cooking for the day. I am going to do it a second time so you guys can see exactly how it is done. Basically, it's the same thing. I add my beans and I am adding more bean sauce. Once that is done, I am going to blend it all over again. This is one thing. This is what happened when your beans is cooked really good. You don't really have much residue like beans left over. So now I have blended all my beans. I am adding my butter. I add about 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm adding my bell peppers. I add my hot peppers. I add my parsley and thyme with cooking wine. I am also adding 2 tablespoons of sea salt, 2 Maggi cubes. My celery, I add 2 little stick of celery. And I am going to let it comes to a boil. It has been about 15 minutes. This is how my bean sauce is looking like. At this point, you do want to put the lower down the heat, or your bean sauce will drop. And also you want to stir so the beans that you left earlier won't stick at the bottom. It's been about 15 minutes. This is how my beans is looking at. Like, it is so delicious. It smells so great. This is a step that my family's been doing for years. You don't have to, but it just gives the bean sauce an extra kick to it. I am saute onions for about couple minutes. Once I'm done, I will be adding that into my beans. You want to make sure you add that 5 minutes prior to your bean sauce done. This is how it looks like, and I am adding that to my bean sauce. Voila, that is all to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. At first it might seems like a lot to do, but trust me, it is worth it. It's delicious. You can eat that with a lot of side dish, rice, cornmeal,